in today's video, I'm going to share with you all our light fixtures and the whole process we went through when choosing lighting for our home. If you are new to my channel, we built a house earlier this year. We moved to a different state, had this lovely house built. We've been here about 3 months now, and when we designed this house, we specifically wanted to make a new house that looked like an old house so that we didn't have to deal with all of the upkeep and renovations that come with an old house. And it was just a super fun creative process for us, so I am really excited to just be sharing that with you all. So first of all, picking out light fixtures was one of the most exciting and fun parts of designing this house. When you first start thinking about designing a house, of course you think about the floor plan, the paint maybe, the kitchen, cabinets, the flooring, the exterior. You think of all these larger things, but then when the house actually starts being built, you realize that there's so many other details that you didn't really realize. And when we got into the process of actually picking out light fixtures and faucets and all these details, I got really into it. So it was just super fun, and it really just adds so much to this house. And I think that if you have a new house, or any house really, changing out the light fixtures and really making them unique is really going to elevate your space, and it's going to make it feel like you. It's sort of like jewelry, or just doing your hair, or what you know, even the clothes you wear or your shoes, things like that can really change the outfit and make it unique. So your house is kind of the same, and the light fixtures just add so much. And we kind of learned that when we sold our last house last year. Before we sold it, we of course fixed it up, and it was beautiful. And I changed out a couple of the light fixtures in the house, and it completely changed the house. And I was thinking, why didn't we do this sooner? Why didn't we do this the whole 5 years that we lived in the house together? So that's just something I encourage you to do. And the next point is budget. So our house is about 1,260 square feet, so it's quite small. Budgets, from what I could find online from builders, are generally between $1 and $4 a square foot. So that would have been from about $1,200 to $5,000. That, you know, is kind of what we should have been spending on our lights. I don't know exactly what we spent, but as we go through this house, I'll be putting up what we spent on each fixture, including the antique light fixtures, and then we'll have a total in the end. I'm guessing it's about $1,500. That's just my guess. And that's including these gorgeous antique fixtures. Budget is very arbitrary. A lot of actual designers, like professional fancy designers, will tell you that you need to be spending way more than that, probably between $3,000 and $10,000 on a house this size. But to me, that's just kind of ridiculous. So you really don't need to spend a lot on your light fixtures. All of our fixtures, apart from the antique ones, I got on Amazon, Home Depot, or Lowe's. So they were all very affordable light fixtures, and they're really beautiful in my opinion. And I'll also talk about ways you can make these light fixtures a little bit unique, and it's very simple. And before I get into showing you each fixture, I also just want to bring up the fact that we don't have any can lighting in this house, or recessed lights. So those are the lights that fit into the ceiling, and they're flush with the ceiling. They shine directly down, and there's usually quite a few of them on the ceiling. There'll be like at least 6, but often more. They're usually in hallways, kitchens, and basements, and bathrooms. The only spots in our house that we have canned lighting are our bathrooms. So we put one can light above each shower, and that makes total sense to me. And then we also put can lights on our porch, up above our porch, and it's a little bit too much for us and the neighborhood we're in. It's just way too bright. Like, once we get neighbors across the street, if we ever turn those lights on, they're probably gonna call the cops, because it's gonna be like floodlights. Anyways, those are the only can lights we put in the house, and our builder and our electrician thought we were kind of crazy and didn't think we were gonna have enough light in this house. But as I will show you, if anything, this house is overlit. It is not underlit, and we don't have any can lighting. So it is possible. Another thing, can lights, the reason why we didn't put them in mainly was the aesthetics. They're not really pretty. And in fact, designers, when they take photos of spaces, they will actually Photoshop out the can lights for the magazine photo or the Pinterest photo. And that's something I learned, and I just decided, why do we even need this? Why can't we just put really beautiful fixtures in our house and not have these ugly can lights detracting from the simplicity and the beauty of the fixtures we do have? So that's why we didn't put them in, and we're really happy with that decision, and our house is plenty bright. So if you do have can lights in your house or you really like them, that is of course fine. I'm not gonna judge you. This is just what we chose in our house, and we were going for a more historic look in our house, so that was of course another reason. Starting at the front door, we have one of these on each side of the door. I don't want to expose our address, so I'm just showing you this one. We picked these up at an antique store. They're really heavy. If I were to guess, I'd say they were from the 1960s. You can also see the can lights up there on our porch. I just love the leaded glass on these fixtures. Then right as you come inside to the right of the front door, we have this sconce. We actually have 3 of these sconces throughout the house, and it's sort of a brushed brass color. It's really neutral. I think it's just a super classic light fixture. There is an Edison bulb inside there. That was actually something our electrician did, and we like it. Now next up, we have a ceiling fan in the living room, and I know that designers left and right will tell you don't put ceiling fans in your house, it will look outdated, but this one actually I think looks really pretty, and it's utilitarian. We're putting a wood stove in here, and it will just circulate the air. We also don't have air conditioning. It's not really a common thing here in Montana. So I think it looks really pretty. We also have another one that I will show you. Now this is our dining room chandelier. I found this at an antique store in Washington. Sorry for the shaky camera. I think it's from the 40s or 50s from what I can find. There is some Arabic writing on it, and I actually had someone on Instagram translate it for me and kind of looked up the history a little bit. But yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous. We paid $400 for this fixture. I saw it in the window at an antique store and just couldn't take my eyes off of it. It said $500 and they called the seller because I asked if I could get it for $400, and they sold it to me for that. We really like it. We also have a dimmer on this fixture. And then in our hallway, we have these 3 light fixtures here. We actually bought one of these when we sold and fixed up our house in Washington, and I loved it so much. They're really cheap. I got these at Lowe's, and they just have a really great vintage feel to them. I think they would look good in almost any space. The only thing that sort of bothers me is that the shades are white and our walls are an off-white, but not really that big of a deal. And then coming into the kitchen, we have another one of these sconces, the same one that we had at the front entry. And we actually use this one at night. We'll turn it on because the Edison bulb is just kind of a dim, warm light, and it's just a good light to have on at night if we need to come into the kitchen or early in the morning when Garrett gets up to go to work. This is my most favorite fixture in the entire house. It is from about 1930, and these shades are called Custard Glass. They're actually more of like an ivory greenish color, and they are just gorgeous. There are 5 lights that just take regular bulbs, so it is super, super bright and lights up the entire kitchen. The ceiling medallion, I found a spray paint that matched the fixture perfectly and painted this medallion. I found the medallion at Home Depot. This is not the original color of this fixture. Whoever sold it to me painted it this color. The original that I found was ivory, but I love this. This fixture cost $300 plus $100 shipping on eBay, so $400. And it was totally worth it. Other fixtures I found like this cost upwards of $1,000. Over our kitchen sink, we have these 2 sconces. Now these are modern fixtures we purchased, and I found these vintage 1930s scalloped milk glass shades that just happen to fit perfectly on these. So that's one easy thing you can do to add some personality to your light fixtures. Now, I've had some people tell me that I needed to put a 3rd fixture above the sink, but I really like the way this looks, especially with the chandelier there. I think just having a 3rd fixture would have looked too cluttered. And believe me, there is plenty of light in this kitchen. Then by the side entry, we just have this little light here. Honestly, we hardly ever use this because there's so much light in the kitchen. This is the Pantry Light, just really simple. It was actually the same light that's by the side entry. I had just switched out the shade on the side entry one with an acorn shade. But yeah, just really, really simple light fixture. This is the little vestibule area where our guest bathroom and our bedroom doors are. This is the same sconce that was in the kitchen and the front entry. And it's just a nice, really warm glow to have in this space. So of course we have that light as well from the hallway. So there is, like I said, plenty of light in this house, and it is just so pretty and adds so much character. In our guest bathroom, we have these 2 sconces. They are a little large for the space. We designed the space remotely, like the entire house. We were in Washington, and we didn't quite know how everything was going to work out, and these kind of turned out a little large, but they're really pretty. I actually like the shades. They give out a ton of light. I'm not going to turn them on because I'll totally blind you, but they look really nice. And then of course we also have a recessed light in the shower, but I don't need to show you that. In our bedroom, we have another dreaded ceiling fan. We actually really like this. It's the exact same one that is in the living room, and we think it looks really nice. It's really practical. We've enjoyed it all summer long. And yes, I would love to have a chandelier in here, but we're not getting rid of the ceiling fan. We like it, so don't let designers stop you. In our master bathroom, we again have those same sconces that were in the other bathroom. Since we designed this remotely, our builder didn't always communicate with us that well. And we originally thought we were only going to have 1 sink and 1 mirror in this space, so I thought that I was going to be able to have a sconce on either side of the mirror. But when I showed up to the house, this is what was there. So we just have these single light fixtures, which looks a little odd above the mirrors, but we'll probably leave it unless we find something antique that is really beautiful. The last fixture on the tour, this is the side exterior light. Nothing really special, very inexpensive. I will leave a link below for this light and all the other new lights we purchased. So So that is all of our light fixtures in this house. If you need any tips or advice, I would just say look everywhere. Look on Amazon, look on Wayfair, just search. You can find really, really good deals. And also, if you need to change the color of the base, you can always spray paint it. If you want to add detail, you can add a ceiling medallion, or you can change the shade out. So you just have to look for the size of the opening the shade fits onto to make sure that works. I was super lucky with those because I actually, when I ordered that fixture, I couldn't even find that measurement. So those are things you can do to just add personality to your light fixtures. And yeah, I would just encourage you to look at antique light fixtures. They just are so beautiful, so high quality. Sometimes you might have to rewire them or hire someone to rewire them, which we didn't have to do. I specifically chose fixtures for this house that didn't need that. I do have some other fixtures that I bought that need rewiring, and maybe I'll get to that someday, but we don't plan on this being our forever home. We would love to do this whole process all over again and build at least one more house in our lifetime. So I can always use those fixtures somewhere down the road. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. I plan on recording at least 1 or 2 videos every week on our house and all our finishes and our furniture and design. I'm really excited about all of it. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.